Welcome, it's denome, and welcome to This Week in Crypto. This week's episode actually comes at the perfect time because Bitcoin just broke the upside of this ascending triangle. So it looks like Bitcoin has some upside potential in the coming weeks. But yesterday I did not make the video because there was just so much happening in the crypto space. There were the NFTs, which were pumping super hard, and some of the rug pulls happened in DeFi space. So I just wanted to analyze the whole market, where I think the markets are headed. And now I have a much better understanding or a vision of where the markets are headed. So I was ready to make the video today. So in this week's episode, we're going to talk about NFTs, we're going to talk about the DeFi space, and at the end of the video, I will talk about some specific altcoins that I think can do well in the medium to even long term or even in the short term. So look out for that as well. But before I talk about the news that happened in the past week, let's just talk about Bitcoin real quick. So from my technical analysis, what I'm currently expecting is something like this. So we go ahead and retest the all-time highs at 58,000 and then retouch this, basically the ascending triangle bottom here. And from there, we may even go as far as 67 to maybe $70,000 range. And from there, we may see something similar that happened here. Or as you can see, it took quite a while before we reached this. So we may see some more consolidation before we actually see the a big move to the upside here like we did last time. So we could see something like this as well. That when we touch this, we retouch the all-time high once again, but then we come back and retouch the long-term bottom line of this trend channel. And from there, we head to the new all-time highs. So that could happen as well. And if that were to happen, then the upside potential is a little bit higher, because I think whenever we touch the top channel of this top part of this channel, I think we will have a reaction to the downside, at least for the next time when we touch it on that level. Because if we zoom out, you can see that we have been respecting this bottom part for the longest time, but also the top part is basically started here from July of 2020, and we have touched it two times already. So I think we will touch it 1 or 2 times more before we have the parabolic move to the upside at the end of maybe May or even June, or at the beginning of July. The $200,000 is basically the ultimate goal for this bull run until the end of July. And let's talk about some of the fundamental stuff of Bitcoin as well. So this is basically the ultimate fundamental chart that I'm currently looking at for Bitcoin, which is the Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin on exchanges. So whenever this orange line is going down, that is bullish for Bitcoin, because it means people want to hold their Bitcoin in their private wallets rather than have the Bitcoin on exchanges and trade it for something else on the exchanges. So we had this move to the downside here, basically started from this inbound of Bitcoin entering exchanges, and from there the supply has started to diminish once again. So if we take a look at the longer term view, you can see the Bitcoin on exchange reserves has just continuously gone down, and as long as this trend continues to go down, I'm bullish for the long-term sustainability of this bull run. So this is quite good that it has been going down as well. Next, let's talk about some of the news that are actually quite bullish for Bitcoin as well, and for the price potential of Bitcoin. So India, they were supposed to ban crypto, or they said there was FUD that they will ban crypto, but now the finance minister is basically saying that they will not ban crypto. Rather than banning crypto, they want experiments and innovation in the crypto field in the country. So they are talking with the Reserve Bank about this also. So this is pretty good that they will not ban crypto. And next, Ethereum EIP 1559 gets approved and it will be launched for July. Personally, I'm not that bullish for Ethereum, but I did start to accumulate a little bit Ethereum for a certain purpose, for yield farming basically, and I will talk about that at the end of the video. Basically yield farming on NYDIG network. You can farm with Ethereum and you can farm with Cell token. I will talk about those at the end of the video. But anyway, this got approved and it will limit the supply of Ethereum in the future. So Ethereum by nature is inflationary, But after this gets approved, there will be a deflationary force to counter the inflationary force. So this is pretty good that it got approved, and it will be released on July. And also they will release the optimistic rollouts, so scaling solutions for Ethereum this month, but I don't think it will have immediate effect for Ethereum. And even if they have long-term effect on Ethereum, I don't think it will be that big on the layer 1 of Ethereum, but on layer 2s of Ethereum, it will be a little bit better. So all in all, Ethereum is looking like maybe it can still recover, but I'm not really betting on Ethereum for at least on a big part of my portfolio. But anyway, it got accepted. This is pretty good because every time Ethereum goes up, it usually means that the altcoins are going up as well. Next, and this was a big one, 40% of Goldman Sachs clients already have exposure to crypto. So this in itself is bad and it is good. It is bad because it means that most of the Goldman Sachs clients already have crypto. So when Goldman Sachs actually launches their crypto trading, not that many investors will be able to buy crypto who already were not buying crypto. But it is good that many people want to get into crypto, even though these old companies do not have crypto trading available yet. So it just means that people want to front run the old banks and the old systems already. And this is the biggest thing here. So 76% of the people they surveyed said that at the end of 2021, they expect Bitcoin to be somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000. And only 22% expect Bitcoin to surpass $100,000 by the end of 2021. So this is pretty good, because what this means is that people think the bottom for Bitcoin is $40,000. So the potential downside for Bitcoin currently is only less than 30% from where we are currently. So, or even less than 20%? Yeah, about 20% is the maximum downside that Bitcoin currently has, while the upside is much, much, much more. So if this is really true, that 76% of the investors think that the bottom is $40,000, it means that if Bitcoin starts to go down, these investors will likely be buying Bitcoin before it ever reaches $40,000, because their expectation is that it will be much higher at the end of the year. So this gives a bottom for the price of Bitcoin. And also because of the Tesla buying Bitcoin at about $35,000, that's also creating a bottom floor for the price of Bitcoin. So this is really good for the long-term sustainability of this bull run, if this is really the bottom that investors think that it cannot go below that at the end of the 2021. So this is basically the meat of this article here. Next, Soros, Morgan Stanley, they join $200 million investment in Bitcoin firm called NYDIG. I don't know exactly what this company is, but it's nice that all companies are getting more exposure to crypto through company acquisitions. Next, PayPal is doing an acquisition as well. So they are in early stage talks to buy a crypto asset security firm called Curv for $500 million. And this is also pretty nice that PayPal is getting more exposure to crypto and they see the future in this asset class. Next, if we take a look at the Google Trends, let's take a look at NFT. This was quite interesting because if you take a look at the NFT market, it's just crazy how much interest has been generated in basically the last week. So in my opinion, this looks like a bubble because most of the NFT coins on the market actually went up already like 50, 100%, 500%, something crazy like that. So if you go to CoinGecko and you click NFT, you can actually list all of the NFT coins here. And if we take a look at the last 7-day moves, you can see crazy gains for some of these NFT platforms out there. So 100%, 70%, 100%, 50%, 90%. And some of these platforms and coins do not even have any development going for them. Just because they are part of the NFT hype, the price has been going up. So I think there's a little bit of bubble, and I will talk about this as well. Personally, I'm not that interested in NFTs or especially the artwork, but in the future, I think NFTs do have their place. But I don't think it is that valuable, especially the how or what we currently have on the market. So people have a lot of expectation for these platforms. Even Engine, which has a market cap of $1.6 billion, but the games are not actually that interesting on Engine, that at least from what I've seen on my own eyes. Maybe they will have better games in the future, and certainly the promise of Engine is quite nice, that you can basically share economies between different games, and you can transfer in-game items from one game to another game and have some perks in that other game as well. And you have basically this metaverse of different games that interconnect to each other. I think that is pretty cool with the promise of Engine. But is it worth $1.6 billion? Maybe it is, but is it worth it right now? I think a lot of people have a lot of expectation for this, but I don't know if it is really that valuable right now. So for that reason, I think there's a lot of overhype already with the NFT market, so I would be a little bit scared to enter it right now. So I'll talk about this quite soon as well. Okay, this was the last news that I saw, which was quite interesting, is that on Wall Street Journal there was an article here saying, listing different places where you can get yield on your cryptocurrencies. So Celsius was number one, crypto.com was here, then you had Nexo and BlockFi, Voyager, and even Binance was listed here, which was quite interesting. But anyways, seeing crypto printed on a real newspaper like this is quite interesting in my opinion. But now let's talk about the NFTs. So Taco Bell even had some NFTs on a Rarible. So that was quite interesting in my opinion, that why the hell does Taco Bell print NFTs? So I looked at Rarible. This was probably one of the best places where you can list things. But even if you take a look at some of these things, there's like this blue boy, and it's worth $1,700 right now for this thing. And you cannot basically do anything with it except just to hold it in your wallet. And that's it. And this Uniwaifu, this is worth $2,200, and it only circles around, and it's just like a video clip basically, and that's it. That's the only utility it has. So I think a lot of people are currently suckered into this DeFi or NFT craze, that they buy these NFTs expecting that somebody would actually want to buy it at a higher price from them later on. But I think many people will be massively disappointed that they will not get money from the things that they buy, because anyone can create these NFTs and they can set the price for anything they want. And I saw some people minting an NFT and then basically buying it with another wallet of theirs and then selling it to another wallet that they own and selling it to another wallet that they own and then listing it, so that it looks like it has some transaction history and it looks like it is changing hands and it is gaining more value as it is transferred between wallets. But in reality, the owner is just hyping the coin or that project upwards, or the artwork. So that's how you can basically create more value. But it is not an excellent strategy because there's fees that are involved in this. So it doesn't always work. But anyway, a lot of people are trying to exploit this and they're minting anything they can here. And they are thinking that they are valuable. So you will see a lot of artwork here that just does not make any sense. So I think many people that try to list these NFTs will get disappointed here. So you have to be careful. I know you can make money with this, that's for certain, but I don't think many people will be able to make money with this. Next, even Seth Godin, by the way, was talking about the NFTs are a dangerous trap. But one of the worst ones, I'm not exactly sure how bad this is, but there's something I saw on OpenSea, which is one of the biggest NFT marketplaces. There was a seller called Global Art Museum, and it says here that this person is verified. And you can see the artwork, and these artworks are basically arts from different galleries, and these are old artworks, and you can own this and own these NFTs. But if you take a look at one of these NFTs, It's just a painting, right? It does not have any price history. It doesn't have anything here. But you can buy this if you want to. You can send an offer, and then you can own this NFT. But if we actually take a look at this Twitter person, and we take a look at who this actually is, you would think that it is some global art museum, like some real thing. But it has joined on March 2021, and it has 56 followers, and it's from Singapore. So I don't think this is a legit company or anything like that. It is just someone who took a photo from the internet and listed it here. And anyone can do that and list their own NFT with any picture. Even if it's a duplicate, they can list it, or they change one pixel and they can list it. So there's a lot of fraud going on with the NFT marketplace. So you have to be careful from what NFTs you buy, who you buy it from, and are the things really worth what they are sold for if you want to get a higher price later on. So especially in the art NFT scene, there's a lot of, I would say, bubble area here. What else? One interesting thing is that on Twitter you can now sell tweets, and one of the tweets was actually the first tweet ever listed on Twitter from Jack Dorsey, and this tweet currently has been offered $2.5 million for this one tweet. And when you own this tweet, you cannot basically do anything with it, but you just own the tweet. And I don't know why this Sina SW wants to buy $2.5 million for this tweet. Maybe it's for some charity, maybe it's to boost their own ego, maybe it's to show other people something, or get some exposure for this Twitter handle. I don't know exactly, maybe a marketing trick or something like that. I don't know, but it just doesn't make any sense in my opinion. But now you can sell tweets. Maybe someone will be stupid enough to buy these tweets, which are basically anyone can get access to these and share them. Having the ownership doesn't change anything of the utility of Twitter. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of bubble area here. One of the projects that I actually talked in the past was something called a Wax and WaxP token. And when I talked about this, the price has actually more than went up by 200%. Actually, it went up by 200% compared to the price of Bitcoin since I talked about it. And if you take a look at the last 30-day moves, you can see that the applications that use the Wax blockchain have had quite a bit of growth as well. But personally, I sold my Wax tokens. Maybe it can still go 5x, maybe it can go up 10x, but I'm just a little bit scared of this bubble area with NFTs right now, that I actually sold it for Ethereum and put it to yield farming, because that's something I understand. I understand what's going on, but with NFTs, you don't really understand what's going on, and you don't really understand how valuable things are unless you are a professional. And it is a completely different skill set than understanding cryptos and what makes cryptos and tokenomics valuable. So for that reason, I currently not in the NFT space, but I am looking at potential winners in this NFT space, because those are definitely gonna be big in the future as well. Next, let's talk about the DeFi space. So in DeFi space, especially on Binance Smart Chain, we had a lot of scams already. Maybe you know about this already, but Viking Swap, they did the rug pull basically. So they hit market total value locked of $80 million, and then the price of Viking started to go down. And after a very long and painful discussion, they decided that they cannot compete in the current and ever evolving DeFi market. So they basically stopped developing altogether. And here they try to explain everything and make things nice. But if you take a look at the comments, people are not too happy about these rug pullers. So basically what Viking Swap did is that they copied the code from Goose DeFi and then just didn't do any development on their own. They got some TVL and then just stopped developing and made some money in the process as well. So if you still have money on Viking Swap, you can still take it out. So that's still okay, but the price of the Viking tokens on themselves, it's basically worth nothing now because they already told everyone they are not doing anything. Then we have an exploit on Dodo protocol. So approximately $3.8 million was drained because of these exploits, but they are still able to get about $2 million back. So about $2 million was the total loss of this exploit, but all the other pools should be fine. But just this is a reminder, whenever you do DeFi stuff and you do yield farming or anything like that, there are always these exploits and scams and rug pulls that are happening on the market. So you have to be a little bit careful on what protocols you actually invest in. And also there was an exploit or potential rug pull from Paid Network. And I saw some other YouTubers actually talk about this. And this exploiter got $3 million in infinite mint attack. And I saw some posts actually trying to pin this on Ivan Tech, but personally I just don't find that viable that a big YouTuber like him would do a rug pull, because he's a publicly known person, and if he was found guilty, then he would have so much more risk and so much more consequence from that it just doesn't make any sense for YouTubers to actually promote rug pulls willingly. There's no financial incentive big enough to actually do that, because you can get like even me, YouTube knows who I am. So even if I'm anonymous here, YouTube still knows who I am. So I cannot really do any rug pulls. So that's a given as well. Next, let's talk about Autofarm, because I've been talking about this in the past, and when I saw that it was $2,700, I actually bought $10,000 more 2 days ago. And yesterday, when the Viking swap that they had actually been listed here, and then there was an issue with the Venus pools, BUSD and USDT pools, the price of Auto actually went to $2,100, and I just bought $10,000 more of Auto. And I hope the price doesn't go much more lower than this, because I'm starting to run out of dry powder to buy these Auto tokens. But this month, they will release the decentralized exchange swap aggregator, and they will also release Auto staking. So you will have a single Auto staking pool here as well. So those are coming this month. So all in all, I think this was the bottom, this $2,100, because of all the scaredness and fear. But who knows, maybe it goes even lower than this. But the total value lock is still $1.06 billion. So it's still pretty nice in my opinion. But anyway, I'm still bullish on Auto. Many people keep asking about this, so there you go. And 2.1K was the best price I was able to get it. Pretty nice, but I'm not happy about that I started to buy it at 8K. I could have been much more patient and wait for even better prices, but it is what it is. Next, let's talk about Binance Smart Chain, because they just released on the 5th of March that they will go decentralized mode on the Binance Smart Chain. So they want to decentralize the Binance Smart Chain. But I don't know if I believe this, that they say that from the beginning, Binance Smart Chain was designed with the vision of a decentralized censorship-resistant blockchain. Maybe they pivoted towards this because of the legal stuff from United States, being a security and so forth. Who knows? But now they are wanting to make it into a decentralized mode. So what this means is that there's currently 21 validators that make the blockchain safe. So in the future, people can vote which validators are actually on the 21 list. And how you can vote is if you stake your Binance Coin BNB token, you can stake it for a selected validator that you trust. And when you do that, you get yield and they get the right to become the validator. So 21 validators that have the highest amount of staked BNB get to be in that 21 spot. And every single day that 21 validators, they change or there's a re-election of those validators. So you can vote for anyone you want, but only the 21 first actually get money from that staking. So I don't know how decentralized this will actually become, but yeah, it is a little bit more decentralized, but to call it a decentralized network, that's a stretch. So I would not go as far as call it a decentralized network, but it is a little bit more decentralized after this change. But what it does is that these validators, they actually get about 130 BNB per day. And if you delegate BNB, the APR is can be up to 60% annually. So that's a pretty good yield for BNB token. So I think many people will want to stake their BNB for this, and it should also drive the staking rewards on the whole BSC marketplace as well. And it should move the price of BNB up because people want to stake their BNB in this protocol. And Binance or CZ actually posted this, that you can currently already stake your BNB on chain for 27.5% APY. And that's a pretty nice APY for BNB token. And the BNB token already started to go up. And he also posted that this is an announcement of an announcement. So I cannot wait, but have to wait for one or more day to tell the actual announcement. So we'll see what announcement that is, but maybe it will be bullish for BNB token as well. And whenever the BNB token goes up, that's bullish for the whole Binance Smart Chain ecosystem as well. So we'll have to wait and see what that actually is. And now let's just talk about, before I talk about all of the coins and things that I'm bullish on, I want to talk about where I think the markets are headed. So in my opinion, markets are headed towards, in the long run, towards projects that make things super easy. And those can be company coins or they can be DeFi coins. And projects that go cross-chain or promote cross-chain collaboration. So for example, Autofarm, they are cross-chain currently on Binance Smart Chain and Hiko, but they will also move towards XDAI. They will be moving towards Polkadot and Kusama in the future as well, when those get launched towards the summer as well. So this is a perfect example of an easy project that makes things easy, simple, low cost, and promotes cross-chain. And that's one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on Autofarm. And also I'm bullish on NFT winners. And those are basically how I'm judging projects. How good are they at making things simple? How good are they making things or cross-chain stuff easy? And also if they are NFT winners. Personally, I'm not there yet that I can talk about NFTs. So you will have to do your own research on what project you think are good. But one project that I'm currently looking at is Rarible, because they have their own token. And this, like you saw, it was promoted by Taco Bell or chosen by Taco Bell. So this can be a big one. OpenSea doesn't have a coin yet. I saw Chico Crypto talking about this, saying that maybe they will have an airdrop if you do a transaction here. Who knows? Maybe it will happen, maybe it will not. But I don't personally trust these airdrop rumors too much. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, but that's just something that you can find out for yourself. Rarible is one, and there's a bunch of other ones. WaxP was one that I was talking about in the past. WaxP, but I already sold that token as well. So WaxP, where I had it somewhere here. Let's see if I can find it. No, I cannot. I think I closed it already. But anyway, the projects on WaxP had a massive surgence of new users from this NFT craze. So I actually sold my WaxP tokens for Ethereum during this push to the upside. And from that, I'm looking to farm on this place here. So if I put Ethereum and Cell token on a NYDIG network project called QuickSwap, and I provide liquidity here, the APY is actually pretty nice. So 50 quick per day are divided by $1.5 million. So if we calculate, or let's take a look at the price of Quick token, I actually have it here. So the price of Quick token is $250. So that is 250 times 50. That's 12.5k divided by, this divided by 1.5 million. So let's get that divided by 1.5 million. That's almost 1% per day if I provide liquidity for Cell and ETH on QuickSwap right now. So for that reason, it just makes a lot of sense to get some ETH and to put Cell tokens in this pool right here. But now that I talked about this, I know that more liquidity will enter this pool, so the APY will actually go down. So you have to be, you can look at other projects here on, as well if you want to take a look at it, and you have to set up your MetaMask wallet to support the NYDIG network if you want to do this as well. But this is just a nice place to get some APY on your NYDIG and Ethereum tokens if you are holding those. But other projects that I'm bullish on are basically the same projects that I'm bullish on before. So Band is a perfect example of a project that supports cross-chain. So this is an Oracle protocol, kind of like Chainlink, but their whole focus is to support cross-chain DeFi. So they are currently working on, or you can use them on Terra network, you can use them on Rune network, you can use them on Binance Smart Chain, you can use them on Ethereum, you can use them on the future in Polkadot as well. So Band, they're specialized in cross-chain Oracle performance. So this is a $300 million market cap. So I see a lot of potential in Band token. So that's one of my big holds, and that fits all of the criteria that I talked about, making things easy, cross-chain, and it just made a lot of sense in my opinion. Another one is called Atom, our Cosmos protocol. And this is another coin, $5 billion market cap. So this is a blue chip company. Is basically doing a similar thing as Polkadot. So they have the parachains, basically kind of similar to Polkadot, to be honest, but the market cap is just a little bit lower, but they are further ahead in the development department in my opinion. So Polkadot has had more hype than Cosmos, but Cosmos actually has really good development as well, because the whole CRO chain is actually built on the Cosmos technology, as well as the Binance Smart Chain is built on the Cosmos technology as well, and the Band protocol is built on the Cosmos technology. So there's a lot of stuff built on top of Cosmos already that is working, while nothing built on top of Polkadot is working yet. So for that reason, Cosmos just makes a lot of sense in my opinion, and it is made specifically for cross-chain future. So for that reason, I'm quite bullish on Cosmos as well. And for companies and coins that make things easy, you can think of anything like Swissborg makes a lot of sense in my opinion. Nexo makes a lot of sense. Even YLD app makes somewhat sense. Voyager makes a lot of sense. CRO, I have to go back on my stance right now because they burned a lot of the supply of CRO token. So the tokenomics make a lot more sense right now than they made before. And they also made sure that the burning of CRO tokens doesn't have any compliance issues with the United States of the CRO token becoming a security. So with CRO, in the short term, why I'm quite bullish on this is that the current price for the cards are quite high, and they will halve the price of the cards on 19th of March. And after that has happened, they also fixed the price of the cards to be on dollar values. So whenever you buy a card, you just have to buy the certain amount of CRO that fits the dollar amount. And the dollar amount that they are talking about right now is $400, $4,000, $40,000, and $400,000. Those are the levels, and they will never change. You just have to buy that amount of CRO whenever you want the card. But basically what it means is that the price of the cards will halve on 19th of March. So in my opinion, I think people are waiting to buy the card and waiting to buy the CRO until that happens. So whenever it hits on 19th of March, I think there will be a pump in price. So for that reason, I have actually started to buy CRO once again, even though I thought I will not, but it is what it is. I have to respect the market, and when a company makes good stuff or good decisions, I have to give them credit where credit is due as well. And on 25th of March, they will launch their own blockchain as well with the DeFi capabilities. I don't know how big that will be, but maybe they will try start to promote it as well. So all in all, CRO, they are starting to promote the coin as well. So it just makes a lot of sense in the narrative of a retail adoption and all those things with the CRO token as well. So anyway, I bought some CRO tokens as well. Well, Aave, it hasn't pumped too much recently, like very, very recently. So it could make a lot of sense, but I'm currently not invested in Aave because it's a little bit too big of a project for me, for that kind of project that gives basically low yield for the stuff I'm looking. When I'm investing in DeFi stuff, I'm looking for something that gives a little bit more yield than just a little bit. So I'm not currently invested in Aave. Other projects that make sense, of course, Celsius. This is one of the big projects that I've been buying on these dips. So Celsius Network is one of those coins that I think is really, really good. They've already almost doubled their user base in just 2021 alone. So their user base has actually grown by 73% on 2021, but the price is basically the same at the beginning of 2021 as it is now. So I think Cell has a lot more upside as well. NYDIG, it's the best layer 2 a side chain for Ethereum right now, but the price is quite high, so I don't know what to think about it. So I cannot really recommend it or talk about it too much. But 1inch, it's one of those projects that promotes cross-chain stuff, and it's a decentralized exchange aggregator. So I think that makes a lot of sense. A similar token to that is actually Orion protocol, but this has gone up quite a bit already, basically 10x'd in a short period of time. So I don't know exactly. I sold my Orion a little bit too early, and I'm actually looking to buy it back, but it hasn't had almost any dips on this move in the last 90 days. So I'm looking for a pullback, and I will get into Orion. Maybe the pullback doesn't happen. Maybe I'll miss like a 5x gains. Who knows? But Orion is one of those projects that I'm looking at closely, where they're headed, because they are headed to the making things very, very simple and promoting cross-chain stuff as well. Another one, it's not really cross-chain, but Solana blockchain. The blockchain itself is super, super good, and it is supported by FTX. And FTX is one of the best exchanges if you want to use leverage. So it's really good that they have that partnership. And Solana, the network is growing as well. DeFi is growing there as well. I currently don't do any yield farming on Solana, but it's one of those projects that I'm currently looking at to see which projects are actually popping up. So that's one of the projects I'm doing this week as well. And then you have the Rune or Thor chain, and this is a interesting one. I currently don't know too much about it, but what they want to do is you can basically do swaps cross-chain, and they want to make things very, very simple. But the problem I have with Thor or Rune is that if you go to their website, it is super, super, super confusing. I will show you so you know exactly what I mean. So they say they want to make things simple and easy and cross-chain, but if you come to this website, you have all these buttons which are grayed out. You have update in version 0.2 here, soon. It's very hard to understand what's going on here. And they have, I don't know exactly what to say. It's just a little bit crowded on this website. So it certainly does not look easy in my opinion. So that's my issue with Rune, but I have to take a closer look about this. But anyway, that's basically everything I had to say about the crypto market and where we are headed, and or I think we are headed. So I hope you appreciate it. Consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you on the next video.